Perspective on Florida Gateway College Television is sponsored by Potash Corp of White Springs. Potash Corp, helping nature provide.
Hello everyone and welcome to Perspective. This is a public affairs presentation of Florida Gateway College. My name is Mike McKee and my guest on the program today are Claudia Foxworth. She is the Senior Development Director for Cystic Fibrosis. Misty Taylor is a team leader for the CF Walk, which will be happening in November here on the FGC campus. And Don Havard is coordinator of the arts and crafts portion of the CF Walk. Lots of great stuff to talk about. We'll talk about what CF is and how you can help, how you can make a contribution. We'll do that when we come back. Don't go away.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back to Perspective here on Florida Gateway College Television. My guests represent the CF Walk, Cystic Fibrosis Walk, which will be taking place here at the Florida Gateway College campus on November 8th. Claudia Foxworth, the Senior Development Director for CF and works out of Jacksonville. Misty Taylor, a team leader. Misty has a young son who has cystic fibrosis. We'll talk to her about the ordeal that she goes through with Colt. And Don Havard, who is chairperson, coordinator, jack of all trades. She's going to handle all the things that will be taking place with the Arts and Crafts Festival, which will be indoors, something unusual that you don't see very often. That'll be happening in conjunction with the walk. Welcome to you all. Welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
Claudia, first I want to say cystic fibrosis, of the diseases that Americans and folks worldwide have, it's something that we don't hear much about. And so tell us what cystic fibrosis is.
Sure. Cystic fibrosis is a condition by which the areas of the body that produce mucus produce thick, sticky mucus, and it clogs your airways, it impairs digestion, and it causes a myriad of problems that over time, right now, it's a life-shortening condition.
Now, approximately 35,000 Americans have cystic fibrosis?
We believe somewhere between 35,000 Americans. We believe it's probably 70,000 worldwide.
Now, what kind of problems does this pose for people? I hear that it's a breathing, and I couldn't stand not being able to breathe, and I can only imagine how difficult that is for those with cystic fibrosis. What happens? You just can't get air out or in?
Actually, both. The mucus is so thick and sticky that it actually doesn't allow the lungs to do their job. The cilia in your lungs don't work, it's clogged. So you take all sorts of medications. There are breathing treatments that need to be done day and night, and that's when you're feeling good. And sometimes a child with CF may do 4 or 5 groups of treatments a day when they're fighting a cold, or even worse when they get bronchitis or pneumonia. And the average age today of someone living with CF, they say the median age is that it's about 39 to 40 years, but people are living beyond that, and we expect big things to be happening in the CF community in terms of advancements with drugs that will give additional decades to those living with cystic fibrosis.
You know, and Claudia, you and I were talking before we came into the studio. A lot of people don't know about the disease, so when you don't know about it, you're less likely to make a contribution. But that's where this walk is important, in that it not only raises awareness, but it raises much needed funds for research.
That is correct. The Cystic Fibrosis Foundation's biggest fundraiser is Great Strides. And in North Florida, we do 14 Great Strides walks. At least that's what we've done in 2014. So it's so important that the funds raised with each of these strides is added together, and it fuels the research that is working on drugs that literally fix the defect that causes cystic fibrosis. So we introduced the first, or helped introduce the first medicine to fix the gene that causes CF a few years ago. It works in about 6% of the CF population, and we are now funding research for the other 94% of people that live with cystic fibrosis.
And you say when you mention this walk, it's not a walk, it's making strides. We're not making giant leaps. We're slowly getting there. And Misty Taylor, you are I'm going to say you work in the purchasing department. I'm not going to say you're a procurement specialist, but I think that's your official title.
Yes.
Misty has been at the college for many years. Her son Colt has got this condition. Talk about first of all, talk about how you figured it out. I mean, because the child was sick, so take the viewers through what your process was when you finally figured out that's what he had.
Okay. Well, actually, we did not know at birth that Colt had cystic fibrosis. He was a beautiful, healthy boy. At 5.5 weeks, I got a call from the hospital, and they said that his newborn screening had come back inconclusive, and that they wanted me to please bring him in so that they could do some more tests. So I didn't think anything of it. I brought him in, they did tests, and a few days later it came back that he tested positive for cystic fibrosis. So we met up with Shands, and they did what's called a sweat test to see if in fact he did have cystic fibrosis, and he did. And from there it was just kind of a whirlwind. I've got an education in cystic fibrosis now. At 5.5 weeks, Colt was put on what's called Creon. It helps break down his food. Anytime he eats, he has to have medicine. From there, at 5.5 weeks, we had to start doing breathing treatments and inhalers and just everyday, treatments. But that's how we found out. He lost a lot of weight at first. He went from almost 8.5 pounds to a little under 7 within the 5 weeks before he was diagnosed, and that was because his body was not able to break down his food. So.
How old is Colt now?
He's 4.
He's 4, and just recently he's had an episode where he had to go to the hospital. What is it like? You see him struggling, mm-hmm. and you're like, okay, we got to do something. And right. So what is the process? You take him to your doctor, or do you take him to the hospital? Is there a routine that they go through?
Yes. First off, he goes to clinic every 3 months, and every time he goes to clinic, they listen to his lungs. They do a throat culture where they swab his throat and send it off to a lab to see if anything's growing. And with how we found out he needed to go to the hospital is he was growing bacteria. So they put him on a round of antibiotics to help with that. He was growing what's called a Pseudomonas, and that's pretty serious for someone with cystic fibrosis. The round of antibiotics did not help. He still had a cough. He was very fatigued, out of breath, and so they brought him back in and put him on another antibiotic, and again that didn't work, and he was just had a downhill slide. So they decided that we need to do what they call a tune-up, and what that is they bring him in for 2 weeks, hook him up to all kinds of intravenous antibiotics, and just get him back to where he needs to be.
Now he's 4 years old. Talk about how careful you have to be. I mean, because you and I take for granted, if we're around somebody that has a cold, or they're coughing, or they're runny nose or something, we try to avoid it. Right. You want to make sure you have hand sanitizer so you don't, because the last thing you want to do is catch somebody else's cold. Right. With Colt, it's a little bit, probably a lot different than what the average person has to deal with.
We are very careful. We wash our hands. If we know of anyone in the family that's sick or maybe has the potential to be sick, we keep them away. As a parent, if I feel something coming on, I'll either wear a mask when I'm around him. No hugs and kisses. And I know that sounds like I should be more affectionate, but I'm hooking him up to treatments every day, and if I expose him to that, it's so much worse for him. It's so much harder for him to bounce back. And anything like that, even just a common cold for me, can be a potential, to put him in the hospital.
Now, at some point, Claudia, maybe you can answer this question. He's at 4 years old. Do they get better as they get older, as their lungs develop? Do they develop more resistance, or is it the same no matter how old you are?
Actually, it's just the opposite. When you live with cystic fibrosis, The average person loses 1 to 2% lung function every year. So it's a progressive disease, and the older you get, the worse it gets for you. So what Misty's doing with Colt, and most CF moms do, is you're trying to keep those lungs as healthy as possible, especially since the potential for a drug exists that can really completely change the course of this disease. Keeping someone with CF healthy and as disease-free as possible is key, because when that drug does come out, it will be something that can hold them at that level for the rest of their lives. And for someone as young as Colt, it'll look like a cure.
Now, Missy, I know you're very hopeful, and that's why Cystic Fibrosis Making Strides on November 8th is so important, because you desperately want that drug to be developed, because you want lots of years with Colt. Talk about how let's come on, you're really behind this, and I mean the colleges as well, but you specifically, because you've got an invested interest in finding that cure or that drug.
Right. To me, they said the average right now is 39-40. That's not enough. I want Colt to know what it's like to grow old and wrinkly. I want him to know what it's like to wake up one day and not spend hours hooked up to machines, handfuls of medication, just to be able to have a normal, good day. I want him to, wake up, maybe just take a couple pills. No more machines, no more hospitalizations, just to get up like every normal child, get ready for school, and just have a good day.
And so we want you to help. We hope that we have touched you with this story. I know Colt has been on the program before, but again, the risks of him being around folks that have a cold. I know when it gets to be fall, people start developing colds and things like that. But we've got this thing called Making Strides.
Great Strides.
Great Strides. And so Claudia, tell us a little bit about this. These are going all over the country, and you brought a brochure in that has, several strides that are going on simultaneously and all through the country this fall.
Yes, Great Strides is the biggest event of the CF Foundation. It is also very, very inexpensive to put on, and that is in large part due to the fact that we get so many generous donations from local sponsors so that it keeps our costs down. I do have to mention that Great Strides this past year has been supported throughout North Florida by W.W. Gay out of Jacksonville, and they're our biggest sponsor in this. Also, Cook Electric has been a huge sponsor of Great Strides in the big picture. So it's a 5K walk, and it's a fun day. People come out, you form a team, you do team fundraising, you compete for awards. Some of them are monetary awards where we'll recognize biggest fundraisers. We also give awards for the best looking team shirt. It's a great day to come out and do something in support of making the world a better place. And we've seen in the last 20 years the average age of someone with cystic fibrosis double, and we expect to be able to do even better than that in the years to come. So we're inviting all individuals to come out, form a team, join a team, be part of Great Strides here at Florida Gateway College, and you'll also be able to take in the crafts fair on the same day.
Well, and I think people were probably wondering why Dawn was even here this today on the panel, but Dawn Havard is a manager of our learning lab here at Florida Gateway College, and she is also an arts and crafts guru. You do all kinds of stuff, but Dawn, the idea for Arts and Crafts Festival started last year, and so talk about what people, first of all, talk about the fact that it's inside and it's air conditioned, right. That we're going to be in our conference center.
Right, it's going to be inside the Howard Conference Center or the gymnasium, which is extremely nice for an arts and crafts show. Hardwood floors, air conditioning, climate control, no rain. You also have the option of being outside if you wish, which is wonderful. Last year we had about 20 participants and had plenty of room. This year we hope to double that, and we'll still have plenty of room.
Now, what types of things, Dawn? I know that you did some. What did you do? I mean, and you really can do anything. It doesn't have to be. We're not talking about an Lusty festival where you have to have period pieces.
Correct.
You're talking about anything that people would like to either make and sell, or if you've got some antiques laying around the house that you want to come out and, you know, we don't want to say yard sale, but if you want to.
Yard sale?
So,
We'll take
well,
that.
go ahead. You can say it.
We have lots of artsy craftsy people on campus, and we have an instructor who makes lovely jewelry. We have people who do pottery. There's students who do different types of arts and crafts. I make teddy bears and other things. We have a lady who does some really cute pine cone people. All different kinds of things, from extremely professional looking to just fun little things. We have someone who's going to be turning wood, so we'll have wooden bowls and things like that. We have a lady whose mother collected dolls for years. She's going to have her collection available. If you're interested in having a table, and you have arts and crafts, or if you have collectibles, or even if you do have yard sale items, we would love to have all that. And all the proceeds from your table rentals go to cystic fibrosis.
What is the charge for someone wanted to say, I've got some stuff? You know,
If
Granny passed away, and a lot of stuff we've had in the house for years, and we don't know what to do with it now. Maybe somebody's garbage, or maybe someone else's treasure.
Exactly. If you're a Florida Gateway College family member, you are a student, you've been a student, you've worked here at the college, the table rental is $15. If you're someone who is really rare, that has no connection at all with the college, then a table rental is $25.
Right. And I know that last year you had Fred from Fred's Gun and Leather. That was one of the most popular places, because he's got wallets, he's got keychains, he's got belts, he's got hats, he's got. The guy had anything you can make out of a cowhide, he had here.
And he personalized them right there on the spot.
Which is really a cool get. You know, let's face it,
Christmas
is right around the corner. A unique gift, and who hates getting a gift who hates getting a tie? I know sometimes a tie is not always what I like to get at Christmas, but this is an opportunity to do some early Christmas shopping.
Exactly. We have some lovely things. I know Misty was nice enough last year to buy a gator turkey, I think.
It was the turkey.
Yes.
We loved it too.
So
Now, for those who are not familiar with the college campus, the Howard Conference Center is probably 25,000 square feet, and so there's a lot of room. There are electrical outlets available, so if you do have something like you were talking about, the wood turning and people were making, that's a possibility. And again, you're not going to be, we never know what the weather's going to be like. It may be 80 degrees and very humid, but inside the gym, conference center, it's very nice. If someone would like more information, how would they get with you? I think we got a graphic we're going to show. There
can contact me here at school.
Well, and again, if you want to call Claudia, that's the number for her cell phone, and she can get you in touch with anyone local. And maybe later on we can put the college number, maybe Dawn's extension or Misty's extension, if people would like to get more information locally. Now I want to talk. It's kind of like the idea, Misty, was to make this sort of a festival, not just a. The walk is the most important because that's where we're going to raise our money, but we want people to have a good time while they're out here.
Correct. We are wanting to do like kind of a fall festival family theme where you bring your kids out. We want to get them involved. Not only do we want to raise money, but we want to raise awareness of cystic fibrosis. So many people really don't know what it is. So we think it'd be a great opportunity to come out, bring your kids, bring strollers. We have Michael Childs, who's donated his time and services. He's going to make balloon animals for all the kids. The Sheriff's Department's going to come out, and they are going to set up a booth and do fingerprinting and stuff. And also they're going to have a police dog come out and do a demonstration. We thought that would be something the kids would like to watch and see, how they receive commands and obey them. And we're still working on it. We're trying to get other booths set up, maybe with some activities, little booths for the kids to have prizes and things like that. So it's really going to be a lot of fun.
Now, Dawn, your husband worked in the forestry department here at Florida Gateway College for many, many years, and I understand he's got a connection with the Forest Service and one Smokey Bear.
Smokey Bear, it's his 70th birthday this year, and Smokey's going to be there on campus, helping us celebrate, raise awareness.
And I understand we also have a cow.
The cow from
Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A is going to be there handing out little coupons as people walk by.
So, I mean, if you participate, we want you to participate in the walk. What's the least you could give to be a part of the walk?
Well, actually, we don't require a minimum donation, but we do encourage everyone to make a donation. Give what you can. Support a Cure for CF, and in doing so, you're supporting research that can benefit other diseases as well.
Yeah, and Casey's Produce is going to be providing some fruit for the people who walk, and we're working on Crystal about getting breakfast. They provided 150 breakfasts last year that every walk participant got, hopefully after the walk instead of before the walk. But again, this is something that Misty, you and your committee, and Patricia Orender, who could not be here this morning, worked really hard on making it a fun day.
Right. We want it to be fun, and we want to bring the community, get everyone involved out here.
Okay, so if you want to be involved, you can call the Cystic Fibrosis office in Jacksonville, and you can get more information. If you want to just come out and make a $10 donation and participate and have fun during the Fall Fest, that's all right as well. For those who have more money that would like to contribute more money, there are some corporate levels.
There
Claudia.
certainly are. There are corporate sponsorships. You can go right onto the CF website, which is www.cff.org, and click on the Great Strides logo and go right to the Columbia County Walk. Sponsorship levels are there. If there are items that you wish to donate to the walk, you can contact me personally at the number that is on the screen, which is the office number, 733-3560. I'm out of Jacksonville, so the area code is 904.
Now, when they go to that website at the bottom of the page, it'll take them to they'll list this walk, right? Mm-hmm. And there will be an opportunity for you to say, all right, I just want to check $100. Mm-hmm. You write the check there, or can you do it online?
You can do it right online. We do a lot of fundraising online, and for those people that are motivated by prizes, we have prizes at various fundraising levels that you can, earn various things. So everybody who raises $100 does get the official Great Strides t-shirt, and we hope we get to give one away to every walker.
Yeah, that would be great if we could have every walker that participates in this this event to give $100. You get a t-shirt, but you're also making a contribution to the much needed research and support. I mean, we're talking about when Misty, when you first knew about it, the CF folks were there to fill you in on
yes.
what was going to happen and where. So how important was that, having a child that's 5 weeks old and learning for the first time this disease you had knew nothing about?
They're pretty amazing. We're very fortunate to have our CF clinic in Gainesville. It's at Shands. They are actually accredited through the CF Foundation, but they were amazing. We not only have they walked us through every step along the way, but when Colt was diagnosed, they had a team of genetics doctors there that actually explained it to us, because we didn't understand, how our child had this disease. And not only that, but every time we go to clinic, we have nutritionalists there that help us, know what Colt needs to eat to help him grow. We have, of course, respiratory doctors there. We have counselors who help us, if we have trouble with insurance or issues with school, paperwork, anything like that. I mean, they've just nothing but amazing. If I just need a shoulder or someone to talk to, I can call them or email them, and the support is just unbelievable. So.
What would make this even more fun is if we had some local businesses that would like to challenge each other to raise the most money. And I know that in the brochure there's a list of corporations and local companies that made contributions. And I mean, we had somebody won prizes for raising the most amount of money in certain walks. So that's a challenge that you as a business owner could make. We've got how many banks in town? Probably 20 banks. You would think a couple banks would challenge each other to raise money for cystic fibrosis. I noticed that if you raise $250, you can get a blanket, a golf umbrella, mm-hmm. or a Tervis tumbler.
That's correct.
If you raise $500, you get, let me see here, a stadium chair or a Great Strides insulated blanket. At $1,000, you can get a Columbia jacket or a Garmin backpack.
Very nice.
I'm looking at $10,000, either a Sony 40-inch HD TV or a Dyson vacuum cleaner now. I'm just saying, you know, Dyson vacuum cleaner versus a 40-inch Sony. I think I'm going with the. I would never even think about bringing a vacuum cleaner home to my wife. Look what I won, honey, for just a simple $10,000 donation. But I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can get off the website. Again, if you'd like more information on Great Strides, which is taking place here on the college campus on the 8th of November, please log on to the website or call that number. It's Claudia's number, 904-733-3560. Guys, thank you for being on the program this morning. We hope we have a big turnout and wish you the best of success.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Perspective here on Florida Gateway College Television. Until next time, I'm Mike McKee. So long and join the walk.